Jack Royer joining me now. Jack, an investigative report was released just about an hour ago, but not before the governor made efforts to keep that from happening.
He tried to file several motions today, Chelsea, to prevent this from coming out. To say that this House Judiciary Committee report on their year-long investigation is thorough would be an understatement. All of this, of course, according to the committee, the 15-person panel that spent the last year investigating Governor Bentley's life, his professional and personal lives, trying to get to the bottom of whether or not the two became entangled. In this report, the committee outlines that they believe Bentley did a variety of things wrong, including use law enforcement from the state to further a relationship with Rebecca Mason before ending it on his behalf. Also to retrieve his wallet, things of the sort that we have reported over the past year. The committee's report also discusses ways in which the governor encouraged an attitude of scaring the people that worked for him, trying to intimidate his staff and those around him, preventing this from coming out. Besides outlining compensation to Rebecca Mason, the top staffer with whom he's accused of having an extramarital affair, it outlines her compensation, that of her company, and it outlines how the committee believes the governor, Rebecca Mason, her husband, and her company, RCM Communications, deliberately obstructed this committee's efforts to complete this investigation, saying that the documents sent to the committee by the governor included redacted information, and saying that Rebecca Mason and her company and her husband have yet to provide any documents that the committee asked for, thus the need for 24 subpoenas that the committee says they've issued over the last year. All of this is a lot to get through in this 131-page document released by the House Judiciary Committee earlier this afternoon. As Chelsea mentioned, the governor has made every effort possible to prevent that from happening, but that did not go the governor's way, and this afternoon we have these documents to look through. I, along with Steve Flowers, our chief political analyst who's joining us on the phone, has spent the better part of the last several hours looking through this document. Steve, you've been following this story since it began. We've had numerous conversations over the past year about what this means for Governor Bentley. Now, according to the committee, we have extremely strong detail about what they believe the governor did wrong. How does this light that is now shed on this investigation, on what the governor did, how does that affect a man who came out and is defiant about keeping his job?
This report is even more damaging, but it's not anything new revealing other than what people already knew by innuendo and actual facts already. It's more lurid details. But his press conference this morning also added fuel to the fire. He didn't do himself any good. It was not it was a hastily called news conference, and very few people were able to get there, and it did not do anything to show any kind of contrition or remorse, and it showed defiance. And the Speaker of the House and the Senate President, the President of the Senate, has sent messages to him that he will be impeached, and that he needs to resign and save the state from going through a year of protracted litigation and further involvement. He has become fodder for national news now,
right?
And this detail is going to make it even more. He'll be on every talk show tonight. He's going to make the New York Times front page tomorrow. And Steve, he's become a national cartoon character.
I want to ask you about a specific detail on page 73 of this report that talks about a woman named Heather Hanna, who was a member of Diane Bentley's staff at the time that she was First Lady of Alabama, talking about how Mrs. Hanna assisted Mrs. Bentley in retrieving these recordings that are now famous on the internet of Governor Bentley allegedly speaking to Rebecca Mason. And it goes into detail about how Bentley confronted this woman, how he threatened her allegedly, according to the report, and it claims, the report does, that Heather Hanna's vehicle and home received inexplicable vandalism just days and weeks after she testified before this committee. You mentioned that this report outlines things we have long suspected and in some cases known, but this does show a different side of Governor Bentley that may not fit the persona that we've known of the Christian man he has been for so long. How does this report, in the areas that it sheds light on his personal life and even deeper detail on that personal life, how does that affect his professional life going forward?
It doesn't help him. None of this stuff helps him. He's a dead man walking politically. I don't know how long he wants to make it protracted, but missed several blows. The most damaging blow this week was the Ethics Commission decision, though, that he broke the law. He's broken the ethics law and fair campaign practices law. So that's the most damaging thing this week. This just only adds fuel to the fire today. I would be a reasonable person would resign and try to find some kind of plea bargain to try to not be prosecuted. He needs to be scared that he's going to jail now.
Steve Flowers, our political analyst tonight. Steve, thank you. There's lots to get through in this 131-page document released this afternoon by the House Judiciary Committee ahead of hearings for Governor Bentley's impeachment that will begin on Monday. We will have a full report tonight at 10, and join us for a special Facebook Live tonight at 6:30 on our WVUA 23 Facebook page. We'll dissect these pages and take your questions as we continue to learn everything we can about this newly released report. For now, reporting live, Jack Royer, WVUA 23 News.